For all my EV friends, the most sustainable car is the car that has already been built.
Welcome back to the south of France with beautiful views, great roads, and me with some interesting things to say.
To answer to today's video question, the perfect car for the job is the 964.
This is what I love south of France for. We are February, I think it's around 13 degrees, maybe 14. It's not too hot for the car, you can properly enjoy, you don't need to run the aircon. Just sweet cruising. Unfortunately, not many people online raise the topic I will be covering today. The one thing today feels like people don't really understand is that new cars doesn't necessarily mean better cars, because we are kind of in a cycle where we have developed certain technologies, I would say around 2011, 2012, 2014 max, and what's happening today is we're pretty much reusing the same technology in a new package. We haven't really invented something brand new, groundbreaking, except of probably fully automated driving, but who cares about that? If you look at the EV market today, the EV market is pretty much dead. The depreciation on those cars is massive. If you even look at luxury brands like Porsche, Taycan has been a failure for how much they sell today. The Macan EV is not selling. I've heard rumors online that, Porsche are thinking to wrap around the Macan to somehow give it a little combustion. Another huge point about electric cars is that when there is an accident, even if it's not a really bad accident, so something that can be repaired in a normal car scenario, the EVs cannot be repaired because there is a risk that the battery has been damaged or shaken, and there is a risk of it flaming on fire. So what normally would happen, the car would get repaired and it would continue its life, and it could be repaired until some really bad damages. Now they're sitting on huge parking lots with very minimal damage. Tell me, how is this sustainable? Look at the car designs today. They don't even know what to invent. We have certain aspect of aesthetics and beauty, but I feel like they're just trying to reinvent something. I cannot say that the new BMW, I don't know, the new 5 Series looks better than the older one. It doesn't. Yeah, it does look more modern with some weird lines, but it's not necessarily more beautiful, if you know what I mean. Just because they have to come up with a car every single year or two to keep people buying those cars, they have to come up with those designs. But it doesn't really mean that we are going in a good direction. What I feel like we're just going into this consumption directions that, let's make a new car every year and make people buy them. Back in the days, and not too long ago, in order for a car brand to sell more cars, they actually had to build a good car. Otherwise, it wouldn't sell. Consumer, us, would have to go buy the car, drive it, and say, oh my god, this is amazing. It drives well, performs well, comfortable, fast, engine, sound, everything. And then I would go to my friends and be like, hey guys, I just bought this car and it's incredible, you should also buy one. And then journalists would go test the car and say, oh my god, this car is actually good. And that's how cars would actually sell. Today, for a car brand to sell more cars, they just have to invest in marketing. Even if they built a shitbox, it is still possible to sell it. You make nice and sexy pictures, nice videos, you pay to have billboards everywhere with a person smiling and enjoying the aura of this car. You get a bunch of bloggers to say, oh my god, this is so fast and comfortable, and the price and everything. Then you get all the journalists on paper to write it. So basically, if you just spread all the word about this car, there is a high possibility that people will go and buy this car, even if it's a shitbox. It is way easier today to influence our opinions, unfortunately, with all the news outlets, with social media, with TV, with news, famous people, without actually, giving the truth, and without actually building something new, something good. And before, if a car brand would actually make a bad car, what would happen? Everybody would say it's bad. They would go back to the drawing board, and normally, most of the times, actually produce something that's good. However, today the feedback is really, really low. People don't actually give that much feedback. They're given a brand new Mercedes that they pay 80k for. Probably put a leasing on it, because leasing today is so easy. So let's push more leasings, let's give more discounts, so people buy more new cars. And then there's no feedback, because the guy feels like he paid 80k, that has to be a good car. I have recently driven the brand new C-Class, rented it for a business trip, C300 hybrid, fully spec'd, and I thought, oh my god, I'm gonna have an amazing time. And the trip I had to do was for a rally scouting, so I did around 1,000 kilometers in it in like 2 or 3 days. Oh my god, I haven't driven such a bad car in quite a while. The hybrid system drove me completely nuts, because when you let the gas go, it would start braking a little bit to regenerate all the time, couldn't turn this off. And when you actually do brake and let your foot off the brake, it would keep on braking for like another 1 or 2 seconds. And that just drove me fully nuts. Then in a normal driving style, like I did motorway, mountains and everything, it didn't actually consume that much less, where I would be like, oh my god, this hybrid system is so great. Steering was awful. Like, it was, this 964 drives better. It was like driving a truck. The multimedia system was, oh my god, it was so bad. You turn on the car and it says, don't let MBUX distract you. I'm like, okay, I'll pay attention to the road, start driving. I go over 50 limit zone, like I do 52 or something. Oh my god, everything starts beeping. So the screen here goes speed limit, there is a thing blinking. There it goes speed limit, the thing is blinking. Trying to shut it up, trying to turn it off, meaning I'm not paying attention to the road at all at this point. Why? Like, what's the point of this? And I'm like a young guy. You put somebody older who needs to concentrate a bit more on the road, and you have all those things blinking. Well, the guy is just gonna drive off the road. Where the hell are we going with that? You know what I personally love about older cars, be it like a classic or just something that's maybe 10 years old, like a young timer or something, because all of them, they have a story to tell. Because they've been already driven, they've lived their life, they saw different places, and you always drive it and you're like, wow, I imagine where you've been. And the way that they behave, even if it's like the same models, you still have this little spark of the past. I don't know, but it makes me a little excited. I must tell you, I am very much enjoying filming this video today for you guys, because I have a perfect sunny weather. The 964, not driving too fast because I'm talking to you, but I'm just purely enjoying it, shifting a little gears, not in a rush, nice views, like wow. I hope a little bit of that is transferred to you guys via the camera. And you know, sometimes it feels good when you have a little time to just go for a drive and kind of drive nowhere, really, just around your house, put some music, chillax, get in your thoughts, and just kind of drive straight and not rush. Like, you know, when we're driving late, it's very stressful, everything is annoying around you. But when you're driving just for yourself, doesn't matter what car, ideally manual, when you're just driving for yourself, it's so pleasing. It's like a mini psychotherapy for de-stress. Like, there was a truck on my way before, and normally I would be like, get out of the road, I'm in a rush. Now I was like, hey man, what's up? Let you do your job. It was a post guy. I'm not in a rush. I'm chilling. I just have to make a cool video. Yeah, and on top of this, just in the real world, we have so many stress signals. We wake up in the morning, we have an alarm, then we have all the notifications on the phone, we have all the emails, all the messages. Even if they're positive, they're still notifications that stress us. Then we get in our car, we get a notification that don't get distracted. You're like, okay, I'm not gonna get distracted. Then you look at your fuel consumption. You're like, oh my God, my fuel consumption is too high. You should drive slower. Then you start driving, tells you about the speed limit, and just constantly things like that. Like I drive this 964, I have no idea on the planet Earth how much this car consumes. And you know what? I don't care at all. Zero. Like I will know when I run out of fuel when this thing will go yellow. But I don't care. It's not important because anyhow, at some point I will have to fill it up. And I know that if I want to fill up later, I just have to drive slower. Very easy. So before I make statements, I always look at myself. So let's take the BMW M2. I owned the very, very first BMW M2 when it just came out on the market. Still didn't have the M4 engine. I bought the car and I was happy as you don't know who. I came from an AMG A45, which was a metal box with bolts. Not recommended. And then I had the M2, I did over like 35,000 kilometers with it, had an Akrapovic exhaust in it, drifted it around, had some fun, did some car rallies. Now I have the new M2, and I try to explain to myself how is the new M2 better. And to be honest, I have trouble finding points where the new M2 is better. Do I prefer the new design? Yeah, it's grown on me. I think it looks cool. Does it look better than the previous one? If we put it on a neutral paper without values and depreciations and all that sauce, I think they both look really good. Does it drive better than new M2? No, I wouldn't say so because it's heavier. Do I like more the interior? Well, we have a screen like of this size, like a cinema screen where we can't even play movies. Yeah, it's cool. Do I prefer the smaller screen or the big one is better? The smaller one did the job. It did GPS, navigation, Bluetooth, played with my phone. I could have probably updated it today to have Apple CarPlay. So if you guys know any idea why the new M2 would be better than the previous one, tell me. I'm very curious to listen to you. Another massive issue that I have with brand new cars is that I feel like we start getting less for more money. Let me explain. Before you buy an M5 in a full M package, you get top-notch materials and top-notch interior quality. Today, we pay the same, sometimes even more. We still get an M5, but we get very poor interior materials, very poor finishing, a lot of plastic, a lot of cheap bits and pieces. And that kind of happens in all the cars. We look at the 3 Series. Before, the 3 Series felt like a very well-built car, you know, nice leather. Today, and I see it throughout all the brands, take top-notch car, and you're like, whoa, they saved here, they saved here, they saved there. There are very few cars that I see which are still kind of keeping up to this level. For example, the brand new Range Rover. I was in one, like an autobiography spec. Oh my God, this was incredible. But this is like 300K. You could still take a Rolls, that would be amazing. But once again, you would be talking about $500,000. Why do we have to go so high in pricing to get something really good? I don't understand. Also, back in the days, the cars were actually built to last because people would use them for years and years and years. What I don't really understand is that car manufacturers are like, okay, the guy is going to make a leasing, drive it for 15,000 kilometers, 20, and then sell it further. Car is going to depreciate. Who cares? We'll make more money on warranty repairs and on further repairs, delivering all the parts, etc. They're not thinking to make something that's going to be 30 years old and still driving. Like, I don't picture a modern car driven in 30 years. It's going to be all broken with shit tons of electronics in there which are not going to work. I don't think we're going to be seeing many cars surviving further because it'll just be so expensive to keep on repairing them. There's so many things that can break. Like you take this 964, you have all the parts online. You can do a lot yourself. You can find a guy who just knows what he's doing and he'll repair it. And yeah, you kind of know what's going on. Driving feel, connection, and soul. This is a big one. And I feel like in new cars, this terminology is gone. completely. I don't know why. They all feel very, very similar. You even go for a top-notch car, you still kind of have this computer game feel. There's really no soul. I feel like before every car had a lot of character. Like you would take a Mercedes-AMG E63 from like 2009 and you would take an M5 from those times, or even like you would take just a E300 or an E250 and take like a 5 Series, like a 530. You would actually feel that this is Mercedes, this is BMW, and two different worlds, and then you would decide which world fits you better. Today, yeah, they look different, but if you close your eyes on design and just kind of talk by feeling, it feels quite the same. And I think you will agree with me. They all sound kind of the same, they accelerate kind of the same, they brake the same. It's just not that exciting. And I'm not even touching the point of classics, which is like, wow, a 1990 Ferrari and a 1990 Porsche. That's just two different worlds. It's like, the only thing that's similar is that they both have 4 wheels. I know I said it in many of my videos that the biggest reason why I love this 964 is that I'm going now between 40 and 58 kilometers an hour, and I'm having so much fun. If I would be in the GT3, I would have to go twice as fast on the same road to get the same cool feeling. I know that all of you perverts love a little ASMR of cars, especially classics, because they do make cool sounds. So I found this really cool spot. There's nobody here, super quiet. Let's listen to some cool sounds of the 964. Of course, some pictures in a spot like this is a must, as always, so let's do a few snaps. Time to draw some conclusions in the video today. To conclude on everything I've said today, I just have to be a bit more open-minded and flexible and really not follow the flow and not listen to everything that we're told. This is really the message that I want to send out to you today. And yeah, I just want more people to appreciate the actual car rather than everything about it. I want you to appreciate driving, proper petrol head stuff, you know, gears, classic stuff, classic lines, good design decisions, really the soul that the cars give us. And also, car is a big part of our life. It's like we use it every single day to go to work, and I want that this little bit of your life makes you happier, you know. And even if it's not a crazy fast expensive car, just enjoy it as it is, because all of them can give you emotions. I'm 100% sure about that. And once again, thank you for watching this video, guys. I would love to have another discussion with you on this topic, guys. In the comments, if you have anything to say on what I've said, if you disagree, also let me know. And yeah, can't wait to post a video for you guys next Sunday. And other than that, in between, follow me on Instagram. Quite cool updates there as well. So yeah, see you soon. Cheers, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.